All right, we're going to look at talking about percentages, increasing and decreasing by percentages. So the first thing we're going to look at is how do we increase or decrease a number by a percentage? And then we will look at how do you find that percentage that you increased or decreased by, or finding the percentage that something did increase or decrease. So first, looking at increasing or decreasing by a percentage. So an example of I want to increase my income by 15%, or I want to increase or decrease how much I spend on the electric bill by 90%, which that's drastic, let's say 30% or something like that. So how can we find that new value? So the first thing we're going to do, step one, we're going to find the amount you are increasing or decreasing by. So we're going to essentially find the percentage of the original amount. So where we're starting, what our starting value is. Step two, we're going to add or subtract from the original amount. So which one do you do? Well, when we increase, we would add, and we would subtract for a decrease. When something increases, it's going to get larger in value. When we decrease it, it should get smaller in value. So let's look at example one. 15 inches increased by 20%. So the first thing we're going to do is find the amount that we are increasing or decreasing. So we can do that in one of two ways. The first way we talked about is we can use our percent proportion. So 100 always in the bottom right, 20%, and we're finding it of our original, so 15 inches. When we go ahead and solve that, we would cross multiply and divide. We would get x value of 3. Our other option, we could use our percent equation because we're finding 20% of a value. So think 20% of 15, which would be 0.20 times 15. So that was kind of our shorter way to find that. And we would say that is equal to 3 as well. So 20% of 15 is 3. So either way, we're going to get a value of 3 for our increase. So now step two says we have to add that to the original amount. So we're going to take the original, we're going to add the increase, and that's going to give us our total. So we started with 15 inches. We add the increase, which is 3, and that gives us our total of 18 inches. And that would be, that value is 15 increased by 20%. So 15 increased by 20% is 18. Looking at example 2, 145 gallons decreased by 60%. So we're going to follow those same steps. So the first thing we're going to do is we have to find out what 60% of 145 is. So we can go ahead and use our percent proportion. 60% of 145. Cross multiply and divide gives us a value of 87. Or option 2, we can do 60% as a decimal times 145, also giving us a value of 87. So we're taking 145 gallons and we're decreasing it by 87 gallons. So in step 2, because it's a decrease, we will subtract. So we'll take our original minus our decrease, which will give us our new total. So 145 take away 87 gives us a value of 58. And as a short check, because we were decreasing, we should get a smaller value than we started with, which 58 is smaller than 145. All right, if we look at example 3, we'll do 2 more. We'll do another increase and a decrease. So, all right, 70 meters increased by 80%. I'm going to skip the proportion. I'm going to go right to the equation. So I'm going to do 0.80 times 70. If you prefer the proportion, go ahead and use the proportion. That gives us a value of 56. So 80% of 70 is 56. Step 2, because it is an increase, I'm going to add original plus increase is my new total. Original was 70. It's where I started. I'm going to add my 56. That's my increase. And that gives me my total of 126 gallons. Oh, not gallons this time, meters. Gallons was the last problem. We didn't label, so we should probably go up here and label gallons. 126 meters. And number 4. 74% of 150. 74% of 150 gives me a value of 111. Step 2, I am decreasing, which means I'm going to subtract from the original. So the original minus my decrease is my new total. 150 minus 111 gives me my total of 39. And make sure I get my label right this time. It's going to be grams. And this is how we can increase or decrease a value by a percentage. Hope this helps.